Now imagine a mother has a kindergartner, and she tells the kindergartner, "You're going to be spanked today at 3 o'clock." And the kindergartner says, "But why, mother? But why?" And she says, "At 2:30, I'm going to ask you to stop doing something, but you won't listen to me. And therefore, I shall spank you at 3 o'clock. And the little boy says, "But mother, perhaps I will listen to you and stop doing what I'm doing." And the boy's mother said, "I have already put my foot down and made the decision. You will be spanked at 3 o'clock promptly. Will come at an hour you do not think." No, just kidding. It will be at 3 o'clock. And the little boy says, "But mother, if you've already decided to spank me at 3 o'clock, then why bother telling me to stop what I'm doing at 2:30? It's already been predetermined to happen." The problem is, I see this as a problem, friends. Apparently some of you don't. Some of you don't apparently have difficulty reconciling this in your mind. Jehovah says he wants the world to turn around and repent and become Jehovah's Witnesses, but WatchTower magazine already guarantees that's impossible to happen. It's a mixed message. Jehovah is going to punish the world for not becoming Jehovah's Witness, but he already said thousands of years ago that it's not going to happen, so it's impossible. So why is the human race going to be punished for something that Jehovah already guaranteed is not going to happen? Here's the larger problem I've always had difficulty with, even when I was going door to door. It didn't make sense to me. That how can people be judged when you go to their door? You're a stranger. You show up on their porch. They don't know you from Adam. And you have a magazine in your hand that's published by some corporation that has some person waterboating on the cover or some weird thing going on. There's always somebody like standing on a porch sweeping with a broom or some ridiculous thing on the cover there. And some asinine question about what does the environment mean to you, or something that people say, "What? Are you out of your mind? How dare you ask me that question?" Here's the thing, folks, is when people open their doors and they see somebody with a suit standing there holding up a magazine, they assume you're a salesman. And you make a 90-second pitch. How could someone's trillions of years of life and their fate hang in the balance, be determined by a stranger showing up in their door, especially since this is Satan's world, and you're not supposed to trust strangers? And you'd be a fool to take somebody at their word when you don't even know their name. You don't know their name, you don't know who they are, where they came from, but Jehovah judges. People are going to die based upon whether or not they receive a stranger at their door who wants them to take something from them? Now, Jehovah, if you're up there in the sky watching this, I guess this question is for, technically this question is for this genius right here. Something 1986. Let me just say, you are a rich dessert that we all enjoy. But, thank you for being here. This has been a wonderful experience, and I've learned so much from you. But Jehovah, the thing is that you prophesied that mankind, by and large, will reject the message of Jehovah's Witnesses. No shit, Sherlock. It doesn't matter what the message is. The message could be free breakfast at Denny's for life. And people are still going to reject it because it's delivered by a stranger who knocks on the door when you're breastfeeding. They catch you off guard. Don't you get that? Jehovah's Witnesses you don't get some postcard in the mail saying, "By the way, there's going to be a strange person showing up at your door, and they may look like a basket case. They may be wearing some kooky sweater or some suit from the 1970s, and you may say, and they're going to have some book bag full of magazines that it looks like they're selling, and yes, they're going to tell you in a roundabout way that they do want money from you. There's not a price tag written. It's confusing. There's not a price tag on the magazine, but in a roundabout way, after they hand you the magazine, they will let you know that after they've put the magazine in your hands, they will let you know that you do kind of owe us some money. No. I mean, it's up to you, but if you don't give... It's like watching PBS and not sending a check to it. It's not right. And it's, yeah, my thing, Jehovah, is that, yeah, I can prophesy the future too. Here's the thing. If I lived 2,000 years ago, guess what? I could predict that someday, based on the kooky writings of the Bible, which is the big thing now, that there's going to be a cult following for it, and that someone is going to prey upon the willing, the sheep-like ones. Look, this is bing bang boom stuff. It's a revelation to John. Yeah, I can do the same thing. If I was sitting on the island of Acropolis or whatever the fuck it is, I could sit there with a book and make some guesstimations about the future too. Yeah, Jesus, the Christ who you impaled. I'm looking 2,000 years down the future, and that you're going to have a religion on your hands. And there's going to be variations of that religion. It's going to break off into, it's going to segment into different branches, different beliefs. They're going to even combat with each other. Wow, a revelation to John. Yeah. Am I in the ballpark? Yeah. Yeah, you're in the ballpark. John. Can I call you John? You prefer John or Jimmy? And then you're sitting there writing your scrolls. And we did use scrolls back then because no one had ever thought about folding a piece of paper in half and turning it into a magazine. That didn't happen until WatchTower. We used to have 2 fucking egg beaters on the... What are the fucker... rolling pins. And you roll them out and you have a scroll. Nicely done. Nicely done. No wonder you people lived in your own fucking shit. You lived in pig shit. They didn't have skyscrapers back then? I'm shocked. But guess what? The guy's sitting there and he writes a letter to the future. And guess what? If I was sitting back there then too, I think I can make some pretty good guesses too and realize that someday there's going to be a group of people who incorporate themselves into a corporation. And that this corporation will, in time, send the sheep-like ones from person to person asking for money. And that this message, by and large, will be rejected. Religious fanatics being rejected by strangers when they walk up to them? Truly, this was a revelation to John. And that, how did you do it, friends? And that this magical vision into the future has come into fulfillment. It's a miracle, because who would have guessed that religious fanatics showing up at people's doorsteps would be rejected by and large, and that only a small number would accept the message? That's incredible. Also, it is a real work of genius. It's a prophecy. John, how did you guess that the human race would come to the brink of destruction one day? That is a miracle. Because, yes, I have also lived among the human race, and I never would have guessed that someday they would create a way to destroy themselves and the entire planet.